to this RF1C interview, which is a part of our series, Talk with Champions. And today we'll be speaking with the current Aston Martin Formula 1 team driver and Season 1 champion, Tiky. So, Tiky, tell me, you were the Season 1 champion and you managed to beat arguably one of the best FFR's drivers of all time. How does that feel as a whole?
It felt like an amazing feeling, honestly, because he was a very good driver, very good, real fast. He was very fast. So I didn't. It just it happened in 1 second that I turned out to be a champion.
Throughout your racing during Season 1, what race really stands out to you?
Yeah, there are many, but I think more like Japan races.
Okay. Well, that was a really interesting race, that race. What would you say, apart from Eli, what was your other hardest competitor throughout that season?
Lingard, he was like an Eli 2.0. He was quick, but a very good teammate, and a very good friend, actually.
Well, that's really nice to hear. He was obviously a very nice companion at Aston Martin when I was, I am still the team boss of there. How did you handle the pressure though? Because obviously that year was probably, I think, the hardest year competition-wise. You obviously had the likes of Eli, you had Quag, you sometimes had Cardo. How did it feel like though, since you may have been called the underdog in that situation?
I just remained calm and thinking I could do that because I already had those opponents in my career, actually.
Okay. How do you feel like your car setup was throughout the season? Because obviously, we did our races in FFR during that time, before obviously all the controversy happened with them. How did it feel like though? Because there was, obviously you could adjust, like, in a time your setup, your tyres. How did that affect the racing?
The setup for the asset were just perfectly fine. No problem they had, actually.
Okay, well, do you think there were any races you could have done throughout that season to make it your title hopes a lot more easier?
Yes, Imola, China, and Singapore.
Okay. Well, Singapore, you ended up finishing second in that round, if you did not know that. But it's really interesting to hear. This is a really, really interesting question to ask. Throughout Season 2 and Season 3, how does it feel overall to be driving for Aston Martin? Since, well, obviously, there's been, obviously issues going on. You haven't really been attending that many races. How does it feel that your future potentially might be at question at Aston Martin?
I hope to be a great future for Aston Martin, like some wins, construction championships, or maybe even another championship drivers.
Okay. What advice would you give to other drivers aiming to win the championship? Because obviously you managed to do it with probably the hardest grid so far in RF1C history. What advice would you give to a new upcoming driver who's seeking to get the title?
Well, the first rule is to be calm and like clean to drive actually, and always to think with your head to that you can do it with that objective in your head.
Okay, what are your goals for the upcoming season and this season? Are you planning on trying to regain your title back again, or are you trying to secure more stronger positions that you may have not thought beforehand?
Yes, I will try to get my title back, but if I can't do that, I will try to get a better position like top 5 or top 10.
Okay, that's really interesting to see. Throughout that season, in season one, what was your favourite track and why?
Oh, there are many, but I gotta say one. I'm gonna say like maybe Bahrain because it was like the most active race of the season one, probably.
Okay. What was the most exciting or memorable moment during season one for you? Excluding your title win, obviously.
Let's say the Monza Grand Prix because that's like my home race. So I finished P3, and that was very good for me for my championship, for my points, and for the team.
Okay, that's really interesting to hear. What are your plans throughout this season, though? Because obviously you only attended, well, I guess you could say half a race before obviously having engine troubles. What would you say is your hopes for this season? Because obviously it is early doors in this season. But what are your aims now? Since I believe, if I do my maths correctly, you are 75 points off of first place.
Anything could happen, we can fix with engine problems, probably can win more than one race. So this is just the start of the season.
Okay, how would you describe your driving style? Because obviously there was a mix of driving styles throughout season one. You obviously had a very cool, calm, and conservative, like Cardo, who would obviously just conserve his tyres like a Perez. You obviously had like a madman like Quag or Eli in a sense, where they'll just absolutely send it, send it, send it. But how would you describe your driving style?
Well, I can say aggressive but clean, like something like Verstappen or like that.
Okay. Were there any specific corners, you may say, throughout season one that really, really helped you massively?
Yes, there are corners that helped me in during season one. I can say Japan's last turns and Monza chicanes.
Okay. Do you prefer any certain weather conditions?
Kind of. Sometimes I rather dry, sometimes I rather wet.
Okay. Were there any unexpected moments where you thought you could lose the title?
Yes, I thought in the China GP, I thought when I spun around in the hairpin, Eli overtook me. I thought I lost the title there. In my mind, I said, "Crap! I think I lost the title."
Okay. During this season, how do you feel about the overall level of competition in this league?
This season to the rest of the season, this one is more active. To be honest, it's more like fun to race.
Okay, that's really thoughtful for you to say that. Hmm. Was there any specific race where you felt like you gave your absolutely, I mean absolutely, best performance? And can you walk us through it?
Yes, the last season. The last race of the season one, Singapore. I tried the best of all I got in that race to get to second position.
Okay. Did you feel like there were any technical difficulties or setbacks during a certain race? And if so, how did you handle them to get your best result?
No, to be honest, no. There they had many issues.
Okay, which race was the most challenging for you, and what did you learn from it?
Uh, the the Bahrain GP, because the first race of the season 1, I thought like it wasn't going to be more easier than I thought. I was in a Williams car, and yeah, it was not simple than I thought than that I raced my old leagues.
Okay. How do you feel like the current league's rules and like racing format has helped make the competition more fairer and exciting?
Yes, the rules were fair, like to make everything more fun and entertainment.
Okay. If you could change one thing about the league, what would it be?
Well, I think the league it's already perfect by itself. But if I gotta change one thing, like custom teams with IRL ones, like if someone wants to get through, create a new team in the league, that's no problem.
Okay, that is actually might be implemented into season uh 5, I believe, which is next season, obviously. How did you adapt to the team change? Because originally you raced at Williams until I believe it was Azerbaijan. After you joined Aston Martin, how did you feel like? Was there any differences for you in like team, engineers, strategies, like all like any types of um, mechanical aspects?
Yeah, there's a lot of difference because in the Williams, I decided to when to pit, when to get out from the pits, or in Aston Martin it was very different. Yeah, you gotta follow those rules to get to the podium. That eventually that they worked absolutely. They worked 100%.
Okay, throughout season 3, what do you think was your best race? Because, well, obviously, season 2, your laptop went bang bang, if I may call it that. But season 3 was not your greatest, like, obviously, season, but you ended up finishing, I think, like, ninth or. Yeah, ninth in the league that time. How did you feel like your best race was during then?
I think the last race of the season, the Qatar GP, that I think I felt magical there because I already knew the circuits thanks to games or stuff like that, and yeah, if I had one more lap to that race, I maybe could finish P1.
Okay, well, that's really interesting to hear. Now, throughout your entire road racing career and virtual racing career, who is the biggest inspiration in F1, real or virtual racing, and how has it influenced you?
Well, my inspired driver is Michael Schumacher. Just because I'm a Ferrari fan, or I just simply grew up watching him driving around, spinning around in every track. Yeah, my dad is a big Ferrari fan. My grandfather, yeah, I have a lot of family supporters of Ferrari. So I grew up watching Raikkonen, Vettel, but I'd rather to watch more like Schumacher, Barrichello. Yeah.
Well, that's really interesting to hear from you. I've got a few more questions left for you before we'll conclude this interview. If you weren't racing, what role in the league would you enjoy the most?
Well, to be honest, I don't know. I still gotta think for there.
Okay. Do you have any funny or interesting stories throughout season 1?
I think yes, that in the Lingard, in the Netherlands qualifying, when we reached the qualify two, I said, "Yay, we did it! We did it, qualify three." And he said, "Don't celebrate too early, mate. The bad thing's gonna happen." He was right. I went to last in the qualifying session.
That's actually pretty funny, to be honest. What are the key qualities do you think make a championship winning driver?
Well, maybe like the driving style, the competition. So basically the driving style more to like to be fast, clean, every corner.
Okay. Now, my second to last question would be, what advice would you give rookies to this league?
To give the best that you all got. If you join a team, this league, you better give the best that all you got in the car, in the track that you know. You better train every day on the track, at least like 20 minutes on that track that you can improve your times, your corners, and your speed on that track.
And this is my final question. Throughout Season 1, what was the most defining moment of your championship winning drive? The one decision, race, or challenge that you believe truly secured your title, and how did you shape your journey as a driver?
Well, the race between China and Singapore. From China, I thought that Eli was going to win the championship, but in Japan, when I won, I saw that I had like a 35 points gap or 40. I don't, yeah, if I remember well. So yeah, I thought on Singapore, if I finish like in the top 10, I probably am the world champion. So I finished P2, and yes, I became the world champion in this amazing league.
Well, I'd like to thank you for this interview. It's been an absolute honour talking to you. And do you have any final things to say before we officially say goodbye?
Well, thank you for your time, actually. I really enjoyed to be in this interview.
Well, thank you. I hope you have a fantastic day. And I'd like to thank you, viewers, of watching us. And if you do wish to join this amazing road racing league and become a champion yourself, make sure to join the Discord server, which will be down on the pinned comment below. And I hope you all have a fantastic day. And I hope you have a fantastic day as well, Tinky. And I'd like to say bye.
Bye, mate.